right, welcome to the $1,000 Acura Integra update, part, I guess, 1. I did a poll recently on my channel, and most people wanted to see updates on this car, so here we are. Now, if this is the first time you're seeing it, this is a car that I got for $1173 out the door. It is a 2001 Acura Integra LS in this type of shape, with a 5-speed manual, cold AC, all that sort of stuff. Works great. I put about 6,000 miles on it since I got it, with very minimal issues and no issues on the car's fault. So I guess I'll go ahead and tell y'all what I've done to this car since the last video. Made some progress, but really the big part of this is the parts that I've gotten for my birthday and Christmas. I asked for just parts for this car, so I've got a ton, and I'm going to show you those as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I've done with this car, very minor, but I did go ahead and buff the headlights. I got a buffer recently. I think they turned out pretty well. If you look in the last video, they were a little cloudy, and they're still, of course, a little cloudy, but they're not nearly as bad as they used to be. No. The other day I actually tried to make this better. I think I succeeded in making it worse somehow by, chipping up all the paint here. I even used a proper PDR hammer. Thank you, my friend Connor, for letting me use that. But I did not do a good job. I think this hood is probably just toast, or at least needs to be taken to a real mechanic. The next things that I've done are actually kind of invisible. So these window motors do work now, thankfully. Thank you so much to my friend Lenny, who got me the motors for my birthday. Both sides, amazing. It is wonderful to be able to roll the windows down in this car now. I did learn that this door is actually not original. Underneath the panel, it's actually red. So this was not the original door for this car, so it's been in a T-bone or something at some point. All right, the next things I've done are actually in the interior, starting with this thing. This is called a scan gauge, and this will give you miles per gallon and a whole lot of other stuff like water temperature. There's a whole lot of parameters. I use it for hypermiling. One of my intentions when I got this car was to be able to hypermile it and be able to kind of get the most MPG possible. I think it's just a really fun way to creatively drive. And I got, it's hard to say because of the gas pumps around me are pretty inaccurate, but I got somewhere between 36 and 41 MPG in this thing after a 414 mile tank. Also, down here we've got a new shift knob. It's actually not the same as the old one. Here, I will demonstrate. It is a little bit smaller, and it's also not made of leather. It's just plastic. It's actually, it's very cheap on eBay, or I think it was Amazon, actually. My brother got it for me. Thank you, Tyler. But it is the same shape, so it kind of fits the look. And but because it's smaller and because it's not as heavy, it actually makes the shifts feel crisper, which is weird. I didn't expect that. But A+ to that. If you're an Integra owner and you see the one on eBay that's like 15 bucks, go for it, because it's actually not a bad knob. Okay, stepping back out of the interior here, I forgot something already. Door handle. So, Acura Integra door handles are very expensive, especially in the particular color that you're looking for. They're like 100 bucks. This came from a 99 Civic in the same color at the junkyard. It's like 10 bucks. You have to switch, this is still the original, the backing part, but this is from the Civic. So you have to switch them over. It's not that hard. I didn't do it entirely properly. It may break one day, but for now it is a lot better than it used to be. Haven't really done a whole lot to the exterior of the car, really, but I was playing around with the concept of buffing the paint just to see how it would come out. And if you look, I'm going to show you the bad part first. So this is all the oxidized paint. It's essentially single stage paint now. But if you look, I'm just gonna try to get it without the shadow. That is the same paint buffed. So it actually came back really, really nicely. Obviously it's gonna take a lot of work. This is just like a test patch, but it came back super nice. Look at that sparkle. Honestly, I'm really excited for that. Another thing I tried too, this is the faded clear coat right here. There's the part of the paint with just paint, messed up clear coat, and then down here there is still some clear coat. So, but in this kind of intermediate area with messed up clear coat, I did sand some of the clear coat off around here. It actually came out okay. Oh yeah, another tiny little thing I added was these, ooh, they're covered in brake dust. These tire, what do you call them? Valve stem caps, there you go. So if these are low on air, they will actually turn red, like I'll show you here. Hold on, if you unscrew it, there you go. So if you see any red, you're actually low on pressure, and I think it's like 26 PSI or under. Obviously this thing is too old for tire pressure monitors. So this is a good way to know if your tires are in check without, you know, having to get your air gauge out. All right, under the hood. So the eagle-eyed among you will notice a new oil leak. Yay, more oil leaks. The only thing that I have done on paper under here is replace this, which I think I had done before the last video. Other than that, I've only done this PCV valve right here. But under the PCV valve, there's a little rubber grommet. I figured I could do this real fast on my lunch break, it would be fine. But when I pulled the valve out, the grommet fell into the valve cover. So I had to, at my job, pull the valve cover off, and my buddy Daniel, thank you Daniel, had some really long pliers and was able to get the grommet out from the valve cover after we kind of shook it into place. Oh, but yes, the leak. So I lost a couple of the grommets that go under here. And so that one, and where is it? There's another one somewhere that doesn't have a grommet underneath it. And so oil is just kind of coming out over time. This is the buildup from about 3 weeks worth. I'm not too worried. And that is about it. I haven't done a ton to this car, honestly. Now we're going to talk about all the parts that I've gotten. I asked for parts for Christmas and my birthday, which is in November this year, and boy, did I get a lot. So you remember when I said we had a lot of parts? We got a lot of parts. And firstly, I just want to say thank you so much to every single person who got me these. Literally, there was no way I could have afforded any of this otherwise. It is only family and friends that made this possible and are going to make this a very, 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 very healthy driving car in the future. So thank you all. Starting off with the parts. I don't even know where to start. Well, I'll start with the clickbait of this, which is these are empty. These are actually the boxes for the window motors. Thank you again, Lenny, for that. Next up is a sanding block that I actually got that for myself because I was gonna try, you know, to get the paint back to shiny again. That's something I'm gonna try soon. The next thing is these Gorilla Guard wheel locks. I think this was my mother-in-law that got me these, so thank you. These are really good, and obviously I got some tires, so I want to keep them on the car. We also got a keyless remote. I don't even know if this car has keyless. I didn't realize that some of them didn't come with it until after I got this, so whoops. I can't remember who got me this, I'm so sorry. I've also got some Bosch double platinum plugs. I think you're supposed to use NKGs on this, but this was all that was on Amazon. Literally, to get pretty much all of this, I just made an Amazon list. God, I can't remember who got me these either. Oh, Lenny got me those too, so thank you, Lenny. Also, we got some belts. We got all 3 accessory belts, I believe, for the alternator, power steering, and AC, probably not in that order. This is a thermostat. I've never seen the temp gauge in the dead middle. It's either been here or like all the way cold, especially in the winter now. So it definitely needs one. I've also got a gasket. This was actually my cousin-in-law, Marissa. She got me an AutoZone gift card, which I got these from. So thank you so much, Marissa. I've also got a dent puller, actually a box of dent pullers, 3 of them. Now these are paint drop cloths. These are not specifically for this car, but when I was putting in the window motors, I kind of ruined what was left of the vapor barrier in the car. So now it gets all watery inside. Not like a leak, but just like condensation. So got to replace that. You can use this for it. Next up is engine mounts. There is no way I am going to remember who got me all of these, but and one of these is a transmission mount, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All that are in this car, and I think there's only 5 in this car, so I think I have a duplicate somewhere, but whatever. Also got some brake pads. I believe that's just for the front, actually. Yeah, I think I don't have the rear ones, but that's okay. The brakes are not bad on this car. I just kind of got them just to have them for whenever I need to throw them on. We got the timing belt, timing component kit rather, with all the tensioners and yada yada yada. That's in there. I believe that was my aunt-in-law Beth, so thank you. And as well as we've got a water pump here. No, that was from Beth. That was from my mother-in-law, so thank you both. Got a water pump there, so timing belt water pump already paid for, just got to put it on. We've also got a valve cover gasket, and we did get the one that comes with those little grommets that I'm missing, as well as the spark tube seals. We've also got front rotors, 1, 2, and then rear rotors are in that box there. That was from my brother-in-law Noah. Thank you so much, Noah. And for a big one. Thank you so much, Sid, my Aunt Sid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She got me hand-cook the proper tires that are supposed to go for this car. These are really nice, much nicer tires than I could ever afford, so thank you so much. They're brand new. Just showed up at my door like this, so thank you so much, Sid. They're actually what's on the car now, and these apparently have lasted a long time. Pretty good brand, so I am really excited to put these on, and of course, use those wheel locks to keep them on. Nobody get any ideas, please. Oh, I just realized somehow I missed these 2 cans of paint-matched paint, or at least Duplicolor, as close as it can get, paint specifically for this paint code. All right, and the last thing that I got was this power buffer polisher. It's a buffer, I don't know why I read it like that. And this was gotten for me by my brother-in-law, Nicholas. Thank you so much, Nicholas. And I also got some foam, they're finishing discs, sanding discs kind of. That's what I used back there on that back corner with the paint. So that's what kind of got that clear coat out of the way and was able to reveal the paint underneath. So that came from Harbor Freight. That was from me. Yeah, so this isn't exactly a car part. I will have this forever, but I just wanted to thank everyone again. That was so cool, and I am more than excited to put all these parts on this car. Okay, so it is roughly about a week later, and I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and do the valve cover gasket. Reason being is because, like I said, oil is leaking out of there and out of there because I lost the rubber grommets. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. All right, so now you can see the spark plug clear as day. There's of course still oil down there and all over the valve cover, but at least it won't hydrolock the engine. So now we're gonna go ahead and get to work pulling the valve cover, pulling all the hoses, yada yada yada, and finally replacing this valve cover gasket. Here we have the innards of my Acura Integra engine. What was I going to say? I don't know. Oh yes, so there is like a tiny bit of sludge back here. My mechanic friend told me that's fairly normal, but other than that, it looks pretty healthy, and the timing belt looks to be in decent shape. There's a tiny bit of oil there. Oops. Yeah, so whoever owned this car before me at least took decent care of it. It doesn't look bad at all. So now we need to get the remnants of the old gasket off and then get the new one situated, as well as the spark tube seals. All right, so I got our mating surface a lot cleaner all the way around. I will say there was some RTV in these corners here. I am supposed to be putting that back on. However, I'm not going to, because at some point I'm going to be pulling this timing cover off and taking a look down there to see everything as far as the condition of the belt and the tensioner and all that. So I'm gonna wait on that. It might leak a little bit, but it's okay. So we've got our new gasket in here. Notice how it's nice and rounded. It's not flat, but these are the old spark tube seals. They are kind of round, but they're a lot more squished. I bet they're brittle as heck too. The old gasket sure was. This is like, imagine like a big lifesaver. That's about what it feels like. These I bet are gonna be brittle as heck. So I'm gonna get those out. Okay, I hope you can see this. New gasket, squishy, old gasket, I am trying with all my might. That is, oh, okay. There you go, it snapped. That is how brittle. Wow, okay, that's been on since the Bush administration. All right, so all those new spark tube seals are in. That is really the main reason I'm doing this, is because it was leaking oil again down into where it would meet the spark plug. All right, so all 4 spark plugs are gapped correctly. So we're gonna get the old ones out now. That's gonna be fun. They're gonna be covered in oil. Also, they're gonna be very, very old, I'm assuming. So yeah, let's see how this goes. It shouldn't take long. Yeah, 0.47, okay. Nothing too bad then. So I forgot this wasn't mine. Sorry, Connor. I will clean it before I return it, I swear. All right, so yeah, so none of them were terrible. So I didn't expect I would see much, you know, performance or fuel economy, anything like that gain, but that's okay. Really, I just want to keep the oil from saturating the plugs. So seems like that is exactly what we did. Get away from my cylinders. Get away. Okay, sorry, it was a bug. All right, so now we're gonna put the new ones in. Okay, I ran out of storage on my phone, but as you can see, everything is back together. Yeah, there's oil everywhere, but it should run, and let's find out if it does. All right, we're gonna take it on a spin real quick. I just want to feel if there's any sort of, I guess, difference in the performance or anything like that, and I have like 15 minutes to kill, so here we go. Still fun, but not really any different, honestly. Yeah, but that's okay. That's exactly what I expected, and those spark plugs weren't bad anyway, so not a big deal to me. All right, it's another 2 days later, and I thought the video was going to end there, but it did not. So I realized that night, when I test drove it, that this car actually had a bit of a misfire that wasn't there before. And as I was editing the video, I figured I would figure that out later, I realized something. The mating surfaces for the spark tube seals I did not clean, meaning that there's probably oil getting into the spark tubes just like there was before all this, so it was kind of pointless. But I can of course clean it and it'll be good as new. That, or because I forgot to clean out the inside of the wires, there might also be oil in there preventing good contact between the spark plug and the in the wires. It really happened under like in a, you know, let's say 5th gear going like 35 up a hill. So we definitely got to figure that out because it wasn't doing that before. All right, let's see. Yeah, they're still wet. Take a look down in these cylinders here. You know what? Surprisingly dry. I still need to do that anyway, but I don't think much oil was getting down here. I think it's really probably just there's still oil in the wires, which I can definitely see that there is. So, yep, let's take care of this. It shouldn't take too long. Alright, so it's been a minute or two, but I did get everything cleaned. However, all 4 of the spark plug wires are cracked. Wait, yep, all 4. So, yeah, clearly we're not dealing with, you know, an A+ situation here. But for now, I am too broke to afford new ones. So, we're just going to slap them back on there. They were working fine before. Between the 3 things I did, I think that misfire should be gone. So, let's snap it back on and see what happens. Alright, so I've let it idle for about 10 minutes, and as you can see, it's warmed up for once. And also, haven't seen a single misfire. Again, when I saw it last time, it was at idle or under like heavy load, so I'm gonna call that a win for today. Alright, I swear I have tried to end this video about 4 times now, and the misfire kept coming back, but I finally figured it out. So As you can see, the old wires were completely cracked. Each and every one of them had a big old crack on it. And I was thinking about it on the way to work, and turns out the oil was acting as insulation. And so it was preventing the spark from jumping out of the wire. But now that there's no oil there, the spark was not making full contact and was essentially causing that misfire. So we got new Denso cables all the way around. Went ahead and put the dielectric grease in. Seems to run like a champ now, so I'm gonna consider that a win. Thank you all so much for watching, and we also got our wiper arms painted too, thank God. And yeah, so tune in for the next one. I don't know what we're gonna be doing, but I'm sure it'll be something interesting. There's plenty of work to be done. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. I am a very tall man dealing with a very small car. My back is killing me. Oh my God.